Welcome to today's video, in which I'm going to be making my version of a Cromwell tank. As it's VE Day today, I thought it was an appropriate make for the occasion. And Ian's a massive fan of tanks, as I've mentioned before, so yeah, it just seemed like a good idea really. So I'm making, I believe this is called the barrel of the tank first, as this needs to be solid when it's attached to the tank, so I'm just putting some clay over a cocktail stick and just fashioning into a barrel shape. So this now needs to be baked, and if you're making one, you'll need to refer to your own brand of polymer clay's baking instruction. I say if you're making one because I'm loosely going to call this a tutorial, though I'm not entirely sure how successful it will be because this is the first one that I'm making. I haven't got masses of time at the moment, so I'm just hoping for the best with this one, so I've not worked out a previous design. I made a KV2 tank last year sometime that I'll link both above and below in description if you want to check that one out too. But yeah, really enjoyed making that one. I'm not sure I was convinced it would work out actually, but I was quite pleased with the end results. So yeah, I just thought it was an appropriate make for today, another tank. And I'm not going to bore you with lots of facts because I don't know too much about tanks, if I'm honest, but Wikipedia tells me that it was named after the English Civil War leader, Oliver Cromwell, and it was the first tank to be put into service by the British to combine both high speed from a powerful and reliable engine and reasonable armour. So I don't know if that's of interest. I have to say my personal knowledge of tanks is yeah, pretty minimal, but I was going to ask Ian for some facts, but he's really busy with work at the moment, so I shall save that for another time. But he's really keen to do an animation with the Cromwell and the KV2 tank at some point soon, so stay tuned for that. So I'm moving on to the wheels here, and I've got some black clay just to hold the wheels together really. The black really represents kind of a negative space really, but you know, I can't really make wheels with polymer clay, so yeah, you just have to do what works really. So I'm just going to add some little wheels like so. And my terminology is probably all over the place because, you know, as I say, I'm not a tank expert. And I don't imagine there's very many tank experts out there. I suspect that this video might attract a few World of Tanks fans. Needless to say that Ian is a big advocate of the game. So hopefully I'll do the Cromwell tank justice. There will be some modifications on my model, however, because unfortunately, you know, it's not always possible to do all the things that you want to with polymer clay. It can be quite limiting as a creative medium, but you know, I'll do my best. So pretty happy with these, but they do look like speakers now. And I'm going to move on to the tracks now, which probably is my favourite part of making a tank. So with the blunt edge of my blade cutting tool, I'm just going to go down the tracks and make some quite light indentations, but I think it really adds to the effect, so it's worth doing. And then I'll just roll that around like so. And that just attaches. And I'll do exactly the same with the second wheel. And again, I'll just wrap that around. And just take the end off. And you just need to make sure that you squeeze down sufficiently so it sticks well. So I'm just going to place those on the side like so. I probably won't press too firmly in at the moment, just in case I need to remove them while I'm making further pieces. If you're interested in the tools that I use, I've got a list down below in description that you can check out. But they're mainly Sculpey or Fimo tools that are fairly easily accessible. So I'll just add some more details like so. And as I say, these aren't true representations of the tank, it's just quite difficult when you're working in miniature really to get all the details that you want. If you're new to my channel, my name's Lizzie and I'm a polymer clay artist and illustrator, and I make weekly videos about my polymer clay sculptures. I make some tutorials as well, the occasional vlog and review video, all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in polymer clay, by all means go and hit the subscribe button, and remember to hit the bell for notifications as well. So now I'm just going to make the top piece, and I've no idea what it's called, to be honest. And here's the barrel that I made before, and that then attaches into the block of clay that I have here. And then that can be situated on top of the tank. And I'm going to use some wire here, and because obviously there's going to be a possibility of Ian animating with this piece, I'm not going to attach them together. I just need to make a hole in the top just to ensure that they'll attach together after the pieces are baked. So I'm happy with the proportions, so I'm going to add some further details or rivets to the top piece. And I'll just go in and add some further details with my ball tool here. This is probably a really complicated tutorial, but it's really just to give you an idea of how it all comes together. And obviously it's all about being creative and making your own interpretation of the subject at hand. When Ian was telling me about this tank, he was really insistent about basically adding all the rivets. So hopefully, now that I've added a fair few, it really resembles the Cromwell tank. I'll just keep on adding some details. So now the pieces are ready to bake, and again at this point you'll need to refer to your own brand of polymer clay's baking instructions. So now the pieces are all baked and cooled, I'm going to add some black ink to the tank, just to make it look a little more convincing, because it's, you know, far too neat just being a plain green. And I'll just add some to the top as well, and onto the barrel. And let's see if they attach. And they do. So yeah, all done, and yeah, pretty pleased with this. It's probably not the neatest model, but you know, it is my first attempt. And here it is in situ with the KV2 tank. And as I mentioned, we'll be making an animation with these two at some point soon, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.